Another fun dish for you here today, Hindbeh, or Lebanese dandelions with caramelized onions. It's one of the most famous dandelion dishes from around the world, at least that I can find. And one of the special things that it uses wild chicory, which actually has the same name as the dish, so they might call the chicory greens Hindbeh, which is pretty cool. You're going to start by cutting up a large onion, and you're going to make caramelized onions. Also, the correct way to cut up onions is how I am slicing them here, which is going to be the short way. What I really never do is cut onions into rings. On very few occasions I'll do that. We'll start the pan off with a little bit of lamb fat. You could use olive oil too, but sheep fat, especially from fatty sheep tails, is really traditional in a lot of Arabic dishes. Probably not with this one, but it's what I had. And you're just going to keep cooking those onions. You stir them around a little bit. I'll add a pinch of salt. Another thing that can help them go along is to put a lid on it. And eventually, it's going to take about 20 to 25 minutes. And you're going to stir them, here and there to help them caramelize. Eventually, the pan is going to get a little bit dark on the bottom, and you can add some water to deglaze that, and that's really going to speed up the browning and caramelization process by lifting those sugars off the bottom of the pan. Helps them not burn too. Next thing is to cut the greens. You're going to cut them into about 1-inch pieces. You can see these are a lot longer than typical dandelions. They're really, really nice. Not as bitter. And the first thing to do is blanch the dandelions. You're going to see here, look at the amount of salt I'm putting into that water. I had about a tablespoon per quart, and that's less than some of my chef friends would say. Some of my chef friends would say that salted water should offend you when you taste it. I think about a tablespoon per quart is just fine, but you want to season that water. Push them down under the water and then cover it. That's going to help it so the dandelions don't discolor, which can happen. And you're going to cook them for a good 30 seconds at a boil. Taste them, make sure they're alright. And then all you got to do is drain them. There's really not a need to shock a lot of vegetables in ice water. That's kind of a restaurant misnomer that gets passed around a lot, but you do want to drain them. So I'm going to drain them. I'm going to reheat the pan with our onions with a little bit of oil, and that's only about a third of the onions that I cooked, because we're going to put the rest on top as a garnish. I'm also going to add a little bit of cumin, and that is another little thing that is really nice in here. You don't have to add it, but it's really nice. Drain those greens. You don't want them completely drained, but you do want to drain them because look at how much water is left in that pan. You don't want it to be soup. The greens should also be still al dente. They shouldn't be mush at all. And you're going to mix all those greens up with the caramelized onions, and then again, taste. Make sure it tastes good to you. Adjust the seasoning for a little salt or a little cumin if you need. And again, I season my food. Make sure you season your food. Again, taste again. Make sure it's tasting great. There's a little extra cumin. Nice thing about this is, notice that the dandelion pieces and the onions are all about the same size. And really that's it. You finish it with a little lemon juice, and that is one of the best ways to cook dandelions that I know. More stuff like this on my website, and thanks for watching.